G'day guys, welcome to another Dark Cave Miners live stream. Today, as always, we have Rob from GetBlock. How are you, mate?
I'm doing well. How you doing, CW?
Not too bad, mate. Just another beautiful winter's day, just warming up to spring. It's nice at the moment, so I'm pretty happy with about it.
There you go. Yeah, we've cooled down quite a bit too, so it's been pretty nice. It's been rainy, but at least it's not 95 degrees Fahrenheit anymore. So
That's always a bonus, mate. So,
yeah.
what are we jumping into this week?
So this week, I think we've talked a lot about mining and how to mine and where to mine and all that good stuff. But it's really it's more than that, right? And I think
Yeah.
we really wanted to cover. All right, well, you may be a miner, you're mining Ergo, and now that you kind of mine some Erg, you have it in your wallet. What do you do next, right? So we really want to kind of go over some of the DApps that are available, within the ecosystem and some of the, utility that's been built, within the community.
Yeah, I think that's important because ultimately we can attract the miners. Obviously, we've been putting a fair bit of work into delivering some stuff leading up to the ETH merge, but what can people actually do with the chain? How do they interact? How do they utilize their erg? And there's a lot of going on in the ecosystem. It's pretty cool to watch.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I think, it's quite interesting because, you look back about a year ago, right? And, there was a lot of development at the time. I think everything was, a lot of the projects that are out there now are kind of in their infant stages or just getting started. And, to kind of fast forward to where we are now to, see these things in action and, functioning, I think it's tremendous. And it's been, rapid growth. And I see a bright future ahead.
Yeah, most definitely. And it's been pretty exciting the last couple of weeks also. On the crypto Twitter side of things, you see an uptick in engagement throughout or all socials for that matter. I know Glasgow shared a little stat from the Reddit side, and there was a nice little uptick in subscribers on that side. Um, Crypto Twitter's just kind of exploded just with all the erg mentions and bits and pieces like that. It's awesome to see.
Yeah, it is really nice to see. I mean, it's been interesting. I mean, I'm sure, as you've probably had the same thing, but our inboxes are blowing up lately with all the comments and all the tags and all that stuff. So it's great to see, a lot of people are, starting to gain interest and even from, your standard miner to a trader, all the way up to the larger influencers. So it's great to see, and I think it's time that deserves, gets the recognition that it deserves.
Yeah, most definitely. So, what are we going to sort of dive into here? I know we've got a couple of screen shares to do, so how about we kick that off?
Yeah, that sounds great. I figured, let's start at Sigmaverse.io. I think that's one of the kind of homes for all the DApps that are available, and I think let's start there as a starting point. I think a lot of users can find some interest in what Ergo has to offer, and that's a really great spot to kind of see everything all in one hub, so to speak.
Yeah, most definitely. Very well said. So, if you'd like to share your screen, I'll just do this transition.
Yeah, let's flip over. All right, here we go. So this is Sigmaverse.io. This is actually the website that will basically take you to all the projects that have been built in the ecosystem. And it's funny, just a little personal story. So when we started our mining pool at GetBlock.io, this was one of the tools that we used to kind of get our project out there. And I remember back then, you'd have to kind of submit your PR, within GitHub and, kind of
Yeah.
get everything added. And, we were actually the first mining pool to actually be, on Sigmaverse.io. So it was pretty cool. I even think we got paid a bounty or something for, submitting the PR in SigUSD. So it was pretty cool. But, fast forward to where we are today. I mean, the projects that are listed now, I don't know, tenfold, 20-fold. What would you say, CW?
Oh, I'd have to, yeah, at least tenfold because we've got all the developer tooling there. It easily doubles the NFT projects. The dApps are sort of just growing, seems like sort of month by month. Yeah, there's numerous sort of different titles that we can sort of scroll through there. Even just the mining pools themselves, like you said, there's yourself. It's pretty cool to watch.
Yeah, and it's, I think the way it's formatted now, it's very user friendly. You can look at all, the different projects, or you can actually sort it by, whatever you're interested in, right? Whether it's a D app, NFTs, tooling, tokens, mining, you name it. And there's a lot of different projects on here. So I think, there's something for everyone, which is a great thing, right? It's not just, very focused in NFTs or very focused in, proof of work mining pools. Like it really does have a little bit for everyone. I mean, it really is great.
Yeah, I think it's you summed it up just by saying it's a hub, nice little central hub there that sort of accumulates and sort of just organizes the entire ecosystem basically into one sort of little website. You can jump into sort of all the titles that you just went through there. And as you can see, scrolling through, there's multiple different things. You've got a point of sale system there. You've got a Launchpad, the wallets. There's numerous sort of things we can go through here. So how about we start with the wallets? Because ultimately, that's how we're going to interact with the dApps, for instance. So how about we jump over to that tab?
Yeah, no, that's a great idea. And we pre-open these tabs just to make it easy, but I think the wallet's very important, right? Because there's several wallets that are out there. There's mobile wallets, desktop wallets, web browser wallets, extension wallet. I mean, you name it, right? There's even cold wallets. We have Saturgo with their Node wallet. And I think each have their own kind of functionality, but the important thing is the app connector, right? So when you look at this, there are not a lot of wallets that do have that functionality. I think currently Nautilus and SafeW are probably the only two.
Yeah,
And Yoroi, if you feel like going through
through pain.
painstaking, yeah, exactly. But that's really having a mechanism that connects to the app or the D app that you're looking to use, and it gives that kind of direct connectivity with your wallet so you can sign the transaction, whether it's purchasing an NFT or the staking, or whatever the case may be, right? There's a lot of functionality with that connector, and I think it's important to have, right? So but the good thing is you don't necessarily, that doesn't need to be your default wallet, right? So I mean, if you wanted to start off with an Ergo node wallet or start off with the Ergo mobile wallet, as long as you have your mnemonic code and your spending password, you could restore that same wallet on other wallets and have basically multiple functionality with that address. With a variety of these wallets. So you can use your mobile on the go, or you have Nautilus, for example, that you use for your dApp connection.
Yeah, most definitely. And you can even sort of set it up in different ways. I myself have a cold wallet set up utilizing the Ergo mobile wallet and and just a Galaxy S6, I believe it was. Just had it lying in the drawer. I'm like, oh, I may as well put this to use. And so I've got that cold wallet side of things, and then you can just transfer out of that into a hot wallet. And if you want to interact with the dApps that way, you've got that security. And then obviously, then if you do interact with that, you can then transfer to the cold wallet or sort of just keep things in a hot wallet. So it's just your security preference in that respect.
Yeah, right. I mean, that's exactly right. And I think, that was a great tool that was developed. And, I know that there's, when Ledger, right? So I think that that's in development. It's not something we really talked about here. I think there's, if I'm not mistaken, I think the only functionality right now is side loading with the Nano S, I believe.
Yeah, that's correct.
Um, so, and I know that there's, a lot of work that, not only the community is doing, but I believe, looking to approach and collaborate with Ledger themselves, right? So I think that, there was an agreement or a collaboration that was put in place back in May. And I believe that, full development is still underway.
Yeah, it's just undergoing a security audit at this stage, I believe. So we're just true to our form here on this thing, on this
Yeah,
live stream soon.
exactly, soon.
Yeah, so touch wood, that
So
comes through quick.
yeah, so now you have your wallet, right? And you want to interact with, some of these dApps. So, where do you go? So I think, NFTs have been, kind of one of the functionalities that's really been on the Ergo blockchain for quite some time now. I think we started probably with Auction House 1 V1, right? That was kind
Yep.
of, the first kind of person to person exchange, or however you want to call it, but where people, artists can, design their NFTs and, kind of put them out there for auction. And I think it was very successful. And, I think, they've obviously, obtained feedback from the community enough to, go out and further develop on, the auction house, and they launched V2, which, has, a lot more functionality than the original version. So, I think that's, another great place to go. And now you do need to be careful for scams on here, just like anywhere else. So, one thing that we do recommend is always check the minting address, see who minted it, look back at the project, just like anything else in crypto, do your due diligence, right?
Yeah, just want to scroll
It's
down a little, then we can just point out where that is.
sure.
So on the listing, you can see that the minting address is listed there. So
Yeah,
um,
correct. You
for
can
the
see it a
most
few
part,
different ways.
yeah, for the most part, the artist will have it listed on their website or like in a Twitter handle, something along those lines as well. So just double check that.
Correct. Exactly right. And you'll see too, like if you're looking through and you start seeing a lot of different addresses for the same NFT or the same, collection, then, something's probably up. There's probably one of those or a few of those addresses that are probably not the real artwork. So just, again, like I said, with everything else, we say trade wisely, also shop wisely when you're purchasing NFTs or anything in crypto, right? So um,
Exactly.
you know, just the one thing to, kind of forewarn here. But, from a functionality standpoint, it works great. You go on, you can kind of scroll through all the different NFTs that are here, and you can actually bid on them or you can actually buy them outright. So,
Yep.
I myself, I have quite a few on here, and it's I
That's
had
why
to
you
get to a
brought it
point.
up, just to shill your own NFTs, mate.
Yeah, exactly. And we had to get to a point where, you kind of have to stop because it is addicting, but it is something that is fun to do at times, right? Especially with all the great artists that we have in the ecosystem and the
Yeah, I was
community.
just about to mention that as well. For the most part, we've got a lot of one-to-one artists here. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, no, definitely. I definitely agree. So I'll show you just quick. I mean, obviously you can connect your Yoroi wallet, so it's a little outdated, or any wallet. I just use any wallet. You enter your wallet here, you kind of save it. And then, basically you can access your artwork. Or you can go and you can make a bid of your own. So I
Yep.
guess I own. Oh yeah, I had one of those sub wallet issues where all my NFTs
Uh,
transferred to my secondary wallet. So
yeah.
unfortunately, I can't show that to you now. But yeah, it's another great tool, and definitely something that everyone should check out.
Yeah, it's the one that sort of kicked off everything in the ecosystem.
And then, there's been, further development within the NFT space, right? With, kind of, focused on more what they call ENFTs, right? Which are just Ergo NFTs, right? But, there was a team that developed a marketplace, which is a little bit different than an auction house, which is called Sky Harbor IO. And they have created a marketplace where you can buy and sell NFTs. It is, it's really cool because you can kind of sort it by the collection. So when you're looking at it, you kind of know, it does show you like this is the minting address. You can verify. So it has, a few more checks and balances where you can kind of, ensure that you're buying, what you think you're buying.
Yeah.
Uh, there, there is an open marketplace, so you do still need to be a little bit careful. But when you look at the collections themselves, they're fairly safe. But you could go on here and obviously sort through all the different collections. It shows you which, what are the trending NFTs, kind of, for the week. So it will show you the weekly volume. And then you can scroll down and see, all the different collections within, basically within the community.
Yeah, and a lot of, or basically all of these ones are, you can see the checklist, the check marks there. They're all verified by the team and then sort of submitted. But like you mentioned, there's also like the unverified side also. Um, Having the collection here, I think it's pretty cool. And it's quite dangerous also because you have everything there and you see something you like and it's just a click of the button basically and away you go.
It is. I mean, it's so easy to just buy them. And, especially with, I think they have the QR code too, so you can have like your mobile wallet and this open, you just scan in, and it's like literally in seconds, your transactions, starting to go through. So,
Yeah.
it is really cool. It is really easy to buy. So, it can be dangerous if you're a shopper. So
But yeah, just being able to browse, you've got the activity there also, so you can see what's sold recently. I think that's a cool little sort of tool as well to see sort of the activity that's going on within the marketplace itself.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I mean, I think, you see it kind of shifts around a lot. And Neta Angels has been number one for quite some time now. So I think, they're heavily traded or heavily purchased. Obviously there's some utility coming, right, with the interactions with our pool. So something to look out for. I think, honestly, I think if there were some issues with testnet, recently, within the testnet explorer or something, so delayed our launch of that. But I believe by the end of the week we're at least looking to get that on testnet. So more to come soon. But
Soon.
yeah, it should be exciting to really see that next phase launch. With the interaction of NFTs, because I think that's something novel in itself, right? So.
Yeah, most definitely. I'd just like to shout out to FC also. He just says, "What's up, CW?" Obviously, say g'day to Rob also. And Wombo22, smooth transition. Thanks, mate.
There you go. Thanks, guys. All right. So, now that we talked about NFTs, where do you think we should go next? I was thinking ErgoPad. I think, that's something that's, kind of really a big project within the ecosystem. There's a lot, within what they have to offer. So maybe let's shift gears. Let's go into that and talk about, what ErgoPad is and what they have to offer.
Yeah, sure. And they've also bootstrapped a lot of the community here, also having a number of IDOs.
Yeah, exactly. So you want to take this one, CW?
Yeah, sure. So ErgoPad's basically, or it is the Launchpad or a Launchpad built on Ergo, and its role basically is to sort of provide a number of services. One being marketing, then they can sort of help out on the development front, organize your project, and do an IDO, so an initial decentralized offering, and they do that through Ergodex. That's another dApp that we can explore here a little bit further. But basically, they sort of, for someone who has an idea and may not have the technical knowledge on how to build a project, they can kind of accumulate all those resources and help you get on your journey. So providing, like I said, the development side, or assisting with the development side. They can help with tokenomics. They can help with a white paper. They can just basically, it's one-stop shop to launch a project. Obviously, being a launchpad. We can jump through some of their projects here. So upcoming, they've got the Ergo POS. So I think that staking round, the seed round was just released in the last 24 hours, something along those lines. And that's a point of sale system. Dark Pool, that's sort of been going on for a little bit of time now. That's a game, Azorus, which is a blockchain analytics, sort of data analytics tool, which is pretty cool. They're building out cross-chain basically throughout the entire EUTXO or UTXO alliance. I think that's pretty cool. If we could scroll down, we've got the completed one. So the ENFT project, Swamp Audio, I think that's pretty unique use case, being able to sort of bring in the artistry side of things and provide incentives to artists. I think that's pretty cool. Music artists, ergogames.io, that's another one. That's basically a launch pad, or similar to a launch pad for gamings on Ergo. Ergoland, we also know what that is. The kind of transition now into Exel. They're providing decollateralized lending, or uncollateralized lending. So they've had the first couple of loans funded, and we've had a couple of videos actually that's provided updates from the people on the ground in Kenya. I think that's pretty amazing to see that real world impact. And Padeo, and we'll explore that a little bit further, which is a DAO framework. So yeah, they offer a number of tools and assistance to projects launching on the Ergo blockchain.
Yeah, and it's they've also made a token themselves, right? So there is an ErgoPad token which is available, and that token can actually be staked, so it can be purchased and staked, or earned through other ways such as mining, right? You can stake those tokens, and then once you hit certain staking tiers, it does allow you to provide some consensus towards some of the upcoming IDOs that they may be looking to launch. So it's kind of a really cool tool. It's the first staking on Ergo, which is great. That's kind of unique, right, to have a staking function within a
Yeah.
proof of work blockchain. So kudos to them. I think that they've been doing great things for the ecosystem, really allowing some of these projects, kind of get out there in the open and, really develop within the ecosystem. So it's really great to see because I think, again, it's all about pulling everything together. And I think that, having a platform where a project can go and do that is, it's definitely a need within any ecosystem that's looking to, continue to grow and scale.
Yeah, most definitely. Very well said. I think the staking's cool because it's obviously on tiers, and then that provides access to different levels and access to projects tokenomics prior to launching in the IDO side of things. So yeah, it's a pretty cool little setup they've got.
Yeah, no,
They've
definitely well
also
done.
sponsored the last hackathon. I believe they've got a sub pool with you guys also.
Yeah, no, that was launched just a few weeks ago. We actually had Marty on one of our episodes here, and it's going pretty well. I think they kind of dethroned Neta as far as the number one kind of smart pool within our multiple smart pools. But it's interesting to see. Look, people are interested. They can kind of mine and get a little additional incentive by getting some additional ErgoPad tokens, and then they can take those tokens here and they can stake them for, additional rewards. So, it's kind of a win-win. And I think, it's bringing a lot of value to, the sub pool as a community, right? I think, each kind of have their own community and their own benefits. And, we're seeing that grow. So it's a
Yeah,
good thing to say.
most definitely. And if you're interested in launching a project, by all means, reach out to Marty or anyone in the team.
Absolutely. And they've also built a Paideia, right? Am I saying that properly?
Well, this is one that trips Armenio and I up a little also. I say Padea. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
Padea,
Padea, yeah. Someone will
tomato,
probably say we're
tomato.
still saying it. Yeah, exactly. So, but this is, really unique framework as well, right? I mean, it's, definitely something that I also believe is needed in an ecosystem, especially one that's looking to be, decentralized, right? In nature. But this is it's framework where a user can basically log on here and they can create their own DAO, right? Which is,
Yep.
something that's a little bit unique. So, before we kind of go through the page, you want to explain a little bit about what a DAO is? I think, some people are, kind of hear the word DAO and, some people get scared. Some people are like, what is it? So you want to elaborate on that a little bit?
Yeah, sure. So a DAO is a decentralized autonomous organization, and that basically means that uh, in a decentralized environment, there still needs to be decisions made on the direction of a project and things like that. So what a DAO does is basically provide a framework for governance. So it can be around how the direction a project's going to be taking, the development side, but then also even treasury management also. So you can have members of the DAO basically with a vote can be sort of put forward, or a proposal can be put forward by anyone in the community or in that DAO framework, and then that can be voted on. Your vote can be sort of weighted by the amount of tokens and things that you hold for that project. But there's a normal, basically enormous sort of potential here because the basically what's possible with a DAO, it's basically endless. So the way you want to set it up, basically you can tailor it to any of your needs. I think it's pretty cool. And
Yeah,
the
I do
cool
think
thing about
it's
Padeo is it's basically makes it, there's no development needed. So you can kind of just scroll through the framework and then choose how you want to set it up. So you can have tokenomics and voting, or different ways to vote, and yeah, numerous different things. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, no, I think it is really cool. And I mean, I think when projects, are looking to go in that direction and looking for I think, governance is really important in any project or in any community, right? I mean, we see it all the time, even within Ergo, right? EIP 27, is a good example. And just, to allow people to kind of have a voice and, especially from a decentralized standpoint, right? I mean, I think that's something that again, it's needed, right? I mean,
Yep.
especially, the more you kind of, ponder into that, decentralized path, right? I mean, I think everyone's, kind of has an end game to be fully decentralized, right? And then what does that take? So
Yeah.
I think, having this, toolkit or this framework to, kind of to be able to do that yourself is really interesting because, it's all about user experience. And, if things get very complicated and, it just,
Yeah.
it gets difficult for the user to kind of get involved in something. So, again, to make something where it's kind of like all in one spot, you can go in, I think you could even create your own tokens, which is really neat. So
Yeah.
I think it's, it's something that, I think it's going to bring a lot of value. And I think this recently launched their new site and everything. So, I definitely, would tell people to, go and check this out. It's definitely something that I think is novel in itself, and will continue to bring value to our ecosystem here.
Yeah, most definitely. Very well said. So yeah, like you just mentioned, also they've done a lot of work on their UI side. So I think it was Nico. He's actually, I
Yeah.
think he's Argentinian, but he's living in Australia. I think that's pretty cool. But yeah, he's done all these cool designs. There is an example, I think it's floating around somewhere on Twitter in regards to the user experience on a mobile phone. Yeah, I think it's pretty awesome. So if you
Yeah,
want to
no, I
know
agree.
further, yeah, by all means, jump onto the Padeo website and check it out.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's jump into the next one. And we've had them on here before. So AnitaBTC, this is it's a decentralized on-chain wrap Bitcoin. So that's basically what they're aiming to do. And they're looking to build both on the Ergo and, obviously the Cardano ecosystem. So I think, they've done a lot, right? I think that they've, we don't want to kind of go into some of the, drama that's been out there, but, look, they, every project has their home, right? And I think, for what they're looking to do, you build a roadmap, you kind of keep to it, you kind of keep true to your mission and your project. And, as long as that, continues to go down that path, continue to support the project if you believe in it. And we'll just leave it at that. So, I think, I honestly, I believe in them. I think that they've done great work. We've obviously worked with them on, a multitude of things, but, obviously, we had the, their smart pool. We've launched that in several phases and looking to kind of have the NFT integration that's coming as well. So, I think that the protocol or the project that they're looking to ultimately build is not ultimately complete. But I think the goal that they have in mind is basically, to integrate or to wrap, Ergo with Bitcoin, and then, allow, holders of their token to be able to kind of interact with Bitcoin and kind of use that as kind of a tool to, interact and exchange with the value of Bitcoin at, at the present time. So
Yeah.
it'll be interesting to see, as they continue to develop. I'm definitely excited to see the end product. And I think it will, once fully developed, it will be a great tool and a great, pathway, to Bitcoin, right? Which was kind of, the original, right? It was the original cryptocurrency. And I think a lot of, the Ergo's, kind of core principles are based on Bitcoin. So I think, it really is a good tie.
Yeah, no, that's very well said. Um, and also, just yeah, touching on that little bit of drama, also, I just like to mention that I think it's good that and healthy for the ecosystem to sort of raise questions about not just only this project, but any project for that matter. Just have robust conversations and things like that. I think it's keeps people honest, but then also we don't sort of get locked up in an echo chamber where everything's sort of praised and things like that. Also, I think with the growth of Ergo, we're going to see a number of sort of projects come into the ecosystem, and to be able to sort of ask those questions around what they're doing, how they're doing it, sort of proof of development side of things, I think is pretty cool.
Yeah, and I know, I think if you think about it kind of just from the grand scheme of things and kind of apply some of this to real life, right? Not that, crypto's not real life, but, it's a decentralized in its nature, right? So you don't have, regulators and kind of all these outlying factors that come in and challenge you, right? So I think, having a community that's kind of there to just, what do I like to call it? It's friendly friction. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
To, kind of, bounce, and challenge each other. I agree. I think it is, it's good, it's healthy. But at the end of the day, I think the proof is in the development, right? So, as these projects that are out there, and people start to question them, yeah, sure, I think it's fair to go out there and ask questions. I think there's ways to do it, and there's
yeah,
good ways and bad ways, and somewhere probably in the middle. But I think that it's a decentralized platform, and there's going to be drama like this, right? And I think that at the end of the day, as long as the development comes through, I think that there's no problems, right? No drama, as you'd like to say, right?
exactly.
So
No worries, no dramas.
yeah. So
Got
so
a comment here from Mike Valinsky. The Padeo UI looks very well put together. Excited to see the final product. Hopefully
yeah,
that
no.
comes through pretty quick. Meta is saying, "Hey Rob and CW, just chilling here, enjoying the show. Thanks, mate." And he's also Argentinian, and
There you go.
he's also mentioned here regarding the drama. He sent the assassin angels to kill the FUD and drama. Rob.
Yeah,
uh,
look, I think at the end of the day, we're all close knit, right? So I think,
exactly.
there's no hard feelings. I think we're all in a sense friends. We're here together. We're here to kind of, push this community together. So I think we all have the same goals in mind.
Yeah, I think the questioning's really relevant. It's just a matter of delivery, and I think that can be delivered with a feather or a sledgehammer at times. So it's just a matter of
Yeah,
sort of finding that the right sort of balance. We've
agreed.
just got a question here from FC. It's just basically how Ergo can be utilized. So we'll address that a bit later in the show.
All right, and then so moving on, we'll talk. I guess a good segue into Comet. So I don't want to say this is Ergo's first meme token, because it's not. There's been a few, but they've I don't know. I always say that they're the most fun. I don't know. I've always had a good time, chatting with the devs. I think that they've definitely supported the community a lot, in not only getting, the word about Ergo out there, but we have some fun while we're doing it too, right? So, they've created this meme coin. It's comet, a dog on a, flying on a comet, right? So, it's look, they've done some cool stuff, right? They've done a refundable ICO. They've done a few NFT projects. I think they have a lottery that's, in development right now. So,
They've done some
uh,
copy and pasting.
yeah, yeah. Look, and at the end of the day, like, I mean, they're using the power of open source, right? So I
Exactly
mean, if
right.
they want to, kind of, take a repo and kind of scribble out the Nautilus and put comment in front of it, let them. That's what open source is there for, right? So, and look, they admit they're doing it, so I mean, no harm, no foul, right? So,
Exactly right. Well,
and
like you
that's
said,
what I.
it's the
Yeah,
beauty
go
of
ahead.
open source.
Yeah.
So for those who may not know, they've forked the Nautilus wallet and they've basically scribbled out Nautilus and put Comet on there. But they've added a little bit of utility there. They're changing some things. I think it's pretty cool. They're doing a lot more, a lot in the ecosystem in that respect also. So they're learning, they're playing, they're experiencing. But then
Yeah,
also,
submitted a few EIPs, I believe, right?
yep,
If I'm not
yep,
mistaken. So, I think look, it's great to dabble, right? We all start somewhere. I mean, look, we, started messing with some of the open source tools that were out there ourselves, and we just
yep,
found that, they, not that they weren't good at some point in time, but maintenance is everything, right? So I think, we went out and kind of developed our own stuff. So I mean, you get to a point where, you use what's out there, use it as a starting point, you learn from it, and then you build and grow, right? So I think
yep,
that open source is very important, and I think this is a good, it's really good proof of it, right? I think that it kind of shows how they're evolving in the ecosystem, and now writing contracts themselves, right? And so look, it's good to see. So
yeah, definitely.
I'm happy for them.
And obviously they have a proof of meme sort of thing set up as
Yeah,
also. So I think that's pretty funny. They come up with some pretty clever stuff. I have a bit of a
they
giggle
really
every now
do.
and then.
They really do. I mean, you got to give it to them for their creativity. I don't really see it, anywhere else. There's a lot of, a lot of meme tokens out there. They all kind of have, similarity, but to me, I don't know. They just really separate themselves from everyone else. So it's fun to see.
I actually fell victim to that actually when I posted a photo of updating my sort of background behind me. I added the NFTs up here.
Yeah.
And so within, it would have been probably a couple of minutes, I posted that photo and it was edited, and every single head or NFT up here had the Comet head, the koala and the kookaburra had the Comet heads. I had a good laugh.
Nice, that's funny. Yeah, and I think we had them on here, and Coutier had the Comet. What was it? One of the NFTs is kind of his his screen. So
Yeah,
it's funny to see. They're good
exactly.
guys.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get into some some other different things. I think some of this is under development. I think some has been developed, but moving into more of a user interface that would be a little bit more user friendly.
Yeah.
But let's start with the next one I'm really excited for, and I gotta admit, I put a lot of it behind me, but at heart I am a degen gambler. But it's like what it is, what it is. But this is the first decentralized casino, and I like
In the
just
industry.
stop in the end, just like stop there and think about that for a second, right? It's crazy, and it's really cool to see. I know they've made a ton of progress, and this myself, I'm a big fan of roulette, so I can't wait to
You're
play
in
that.
trouble,
Like,
mate.
yeah, my wife's probably listening right now, and she's gonna cut me off from she's gonna ban this site, so I can't access it. But
So
yeah, but no, definitely
basically, yeah, they're
something that
building a decentralized casino, fully open source. What I love about what they're doing is you can be either the gambler or the punter or the house. So
yeah,
there's no central house. It's decentralized, so people can provide liquidity there. I think that's amazing. It just basically takes the hands out of what we normally
yeah.
consider the house. Obviously, the house will still have an advantage here, but everyone can be the house.
Yeah, no, that's really cool. And I also think it's really cool that they're making it so they're more of a platform for other games to kind of, be able to come in and, potentially launch on their platform or their framework. So
Yeah,
I think that's interesting too, because it brings a lot of not only does it bring a lot of interest in itself that it's a freaking casino, right? But
exactly.
it's like to kind of allow others to come in and kind of come into their community and and build on it. I think that's a great thing too. So
Yeah,
really excited for this one. I can't wait until they launch.
yeah. So with that, they've got the roulette, as you can see there. They're working on. They've got coin flip, a number of other games, but then Speaky Ergo, I believe they're initially a NFT project launched on Ergo. They're building the first third-party plug-in for this system also. So I think that's proves the utility, and obviously we'll see that further down the track with numerous other projects plugging in and going away, going down the degen route, as you could sort of
Yeah,
call it.
yeah,
Um,
exactly.
yeah, the amount of eyes that this project alone will put on the Ergo ecosystem, I think is pretty huge.
Oh, no, I agree. I mean, it's we see a lot of that within our ecosystem, right? The first of this, the first of that, and it's just like that has to be gaining some attention, right? I think
Yeah,
things have not been done on other blockchains, and there's a reason for that. So
yeah,
may give you a reason to dig into Ergo a little bit more.
yeah, most definitely. I think it
All
just goes to
right.
prove the flexibility and the amendability, I think, of Ergo itself as a blockchain, the programmability to be able to allow things like this come up, and just the open, permissionless sort of ecosystem. I think it's yeah, everything that sort of is happening in the industry at the moment in regards to censorship, rumors, and obviously with the tornado cash scenario.
Yeah.
It just basically plays in everything here. It's just like if you're going to move the goalposts, we'll step aside and like sidestep them, obviously. So yeah, it's pretty funny.
No, and I think that, that's a very important point that you just made. I mean, this ecosystem is permissionless. So what does that mean? We don't have a bunch of venture capitalists behind us, throwing tons of money for us to, go out there and get marketing and, develop all these projects. It's literally done by the community, right?
Yeah,
So I mean, it's amazing to see how far developed we are just with that grassroots approach and the level of work and development that has been built. I mean, you don't see that everywhere. I
yeah,
mean, you really don't. So I mean, I'm obviously proud to be, developing within this community, and I think I'm excited for the future.
yeah. Pays testament to the type of people that we attract also. The like-mindedness in regards to people wanting to develop and just build these cool tools. I think it's awesome.
No, I agree. I mean, I say it all the time. There's a lot of bright people within this ecosystem, and I think as when we kind of put our heads together and look to develop, we just build, right? And
Yeah.
out comes these great tools. So I mean, it's really amazing.
And just got a comment here from Argo, the Argonian. Argonian. Rob, I'm gonna go. You're gonna go full degen mode when this comes out. I can see it now.
It's gonna happen for sure.
You'd be selling the children, everything.
Oh yeah, man. I don't know. That's gonna be it's gonna be rough for sure. I'll have to kind of limit my daily intake.
Oh dear.
Uh, so yeah, check them out. I think right now, they're working on their front end and everything, so you can read all about them on their Medium. They also have a Twitter and they're in socials such as Discord and I believe Telegram as well. Mainly Discord, if I remember
Yeah.
correctly. So
Yeah, they give us a lot of updates. There's a couple of video updates in regards to the roulette sort of operation. So basically hovering over black, it highlights all the black places there. Yes, numerous sort of things you can do there. I think it's awesome. It's just one of those projects where it's just, I don't know, like your reaction at the start of this opening this tab, it's just like, just stop there and think about how big this is. I think it's awesome.
it really is. I mean, I can't wait. So more to come. And like you said, they're very active in the community. So they probably, they post updates every week in the Discord, and I'm assuming it probably matches here as well. So, definitely check them out and, see where they stand and what they have coming.
Yeah, just got a comment here from FC. Just a quick question. When you say censorship resistance, are you referring to the possibility of Ethereum being called a security, which it really is, in his opinion, if you move to proof of stake, or is it something else? No, just in regards to the censorship. So once they're moving to proof of stake, there's been chatter around the OFAC censoring transaction, or the requirement for around OFAC sanctions, and then having to censor those transactions being pushed through the validator system itself. So in an open permissionless system, you just have the node operators there, and they'll just be pushing whatever's basically being sent to it. Having this, well, bringing in that censorship side, then it's, can you call it open and permissionless? Obviously, the Ethereum side of things, I've said that they're the most decentralized chain and things like that in that respect. But yeah, when you take all things considered into sort of what could be possible once things sort of progress, once they do move to proof of stake, yeah, it's just sort of up in arms at the moment. So yeah, just watch this space.
Yeah, it'll be very interesting to see how regulators start to approach it, especially since, the one of the largest changes is converting over to proof of stake. They definitely lose, in my opinion, a huge decentralization impact, decentralized impact,
Yeah,
right? Because, when the miners are processing those transactions, it could be literally, anyone. And now I just, to have this kind of, potential censorship coming into play, I think they're doing all that for a reason. And, it's, we'll see where it all goes, like you said. But, if you want to speculate a little bit, things happen for a reason. And this, could be a grand, kind of plan to, deem it, a
yeah,
security, because I definitely look at it in that sense as well. So more to come.
yeah, exactly. And there's so much uncertainty and speculation
Yeah.
around for like the BTC maxis sitting on the Ethereum side and vice versa. And yeah, who knows which way the regulation will come. But all we do know is it's coming. It's just what it looks like. Yeah, who knows yet.
Correct. Exactly. So, and that's the beauty of crypto in general, right? I think that regulation will come into play and we'll figure it out.
Yeah,
So,
exactly. And that's a key term right there. We'll figure it out
yeah,
and
we'll
read
figure it
between
out.
the lines there.
Exactly. So, all right, what's next? So I think let's go talk about Guap Swap a little bit. So they're another team that we've had on on the show here, and they've been doing some interesting stuff as well. So they're a decentralized swapping tool, basically for miners at this
Yep.
point. And right now it's set up in command line, but you can basically, set up their their interface. You can, create a wallet basically, which is kind of, basically creating a smart contract. And then that wallet actually interacts with Ergodex. So what you're able to do is basically swap your
Or
erg as
spectrum,
your
as we should say now.
yeah, I know. It's just, I'm gonna say Ergodex forever. So,
Yeah, it's likewise.
they'll have to live with it, but
Yeah.
that's
It'll be 5 years
anyways.
down the track and we'll just still be saying it and people have no idea what we're
Yeah,
talking about.
it rolls off the tongue so easily. We've been saying it for so damn long. It's just, I don't know. It's gonna be hard. Sorry,
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Gazza
you
will
you
abuse
log
us.
so you log into you actually connect to Spectrum, and so you take your erg that you're mining, it sends the erg to a contract. That contract then connects to Spectrum. I almost said it again. And
We just got a comment here from QX
yeah.
also. Ergodex, what's that?
That's funny.
Yeah.
So yeah, and you could swap your erg for any of the tokens or most of the tokens. I think they have some that are available. Currently working on some others, but you swap your erg with tokens, which is really cool. You don't have to kind of go to Ergodex yourself and kind of interact with that. It's you basically set your miner to it. It converts the tokens, and then those tokens come back to your wallet. So
It's a cool sort of concept because it just takes out that middleman or that single transaction, which could be a taxable event for a miner.
yeah.
So you can mine erg and you might want token X in return. It'll do that swap on the back end for you and basically mitigate that taxable event.
Yeah, no, and I think that was kind of the original basis of the, development of this tool. And I know they've received a grant from the Good Whale, and they're looking to kind of expand on this framework, which
Yeah.
is really exciting to see. So I know they have a lot more coming, including a UI, and we're looking to do some work with them as well, at GetBlock. So excited to work with them. They're great guys as well, and it's great to see some tools for miners, right? I say that all the time,
Yeah.
but it's a lot of the development is not necessarily focused on miners all the time. So it's it's something that I'm passionate about, and I'm really happy to see.
Yeah, you just keep going in the same sort of direction as my thought as well. I was just about to mention that it's another cool tool for miners, built by miners for miners, sort of along the lines of the same ethos of what you guys are doing there at GetBlock, but also, the GetBlock guys there sort of building this utility with miners in mind.
Yeah, no, I think it's a great idea, and look, miners are the backbone of this ecosystem, right? They're the ones,
Exactly, yeah.
putting their miners to work and processing all the transactions. So I think that it's good that there's projects that are thinking about them as well. So
Most definitely. The service
all
they do
right.
for us is, very valued. We've dove into this at length over the numerous videos. So yeah, by all means, they are the core basically of the Ergo ecosystem, providing that security. So yeah, hats off to those guys.
Let's we should really probably talk about this, and I'm going to be funny about it and type in ergodex.io because I know that it reroutes, but Spectrum. So that's something that I think is really an important tool here. And it is the decentralized platform, or decentralized exchange, I should say, that is built initially on Ergo. It's also crossed to Cardano, and they're really doing some cool stuff here, and I'm excited for, a lot of their future development. Some of the kind of cross-chain functionality with Cardano that they're looking to do. So, I'm really excited. But this is a DEX where you can go and you can trade your Ergo for other tokens, for a lot of the tokens that we just mentioned, Sig USD, Sig RSV, or you could actually come in here and add some liquidity to some of the pools that are here that some of these pairs are being traded on. So
Yeah.
a lot of really cool functionality, and they've got a lot more coming that I think will bring more value to the ecosystem, and will give people a lot more to do with their erg once they have it.
Yeah. That sort of ties into this question that we've just got come up by Adam Olson. So he's just tried to get some erg off gate.io, and since he's in the United States, it won't let him. Hopefully I can get it off. Just logged in. So chuck in a VPN, mate. Probably the easiest way to sidestep that.
Yep. There's other options too. KuCoin, I believe, is available. There's some options that are out there. So
yeah. So if you've purchased on Gate.io, then you can just log in with a VPN and sort of go off that geo tracking side of things. But then from the exchange side of things, there's KuCoin, CoinX, numerous other sort of non-KYC exchanges also.
Yeah, and a lot of that, if you go back to Ergo platform, you could actually find it here. So if you want to buy it, they do have a section. It does list all the exchanges that we're currently listed on. So check those out, see if they're available in your region or your geographic location, and you should find a way to be able to purchase them through one of these sites here.
Yep,
or you could start mining. That's a great way to get yourself some erg. So
exactly. Very well put. And the cool thing about mining also is it's the gateway to the ecosystem, so you don't need to go through an exchange and things like that. Like, for instance, got a PC here, it's got a graphics card in it, I can mine and start interacting with the ecosystem. So not having to go through a centralized exchange, and also, for instance, sort of KYC route by having to put your credit card to transfer fiat to purchase, like little things like that. I think it's one of the massive benefits in regards to proof of work.
No, I definitely agree with that, and I think that it's it keeps it more permissionless, right? I mean, again, you set up a rig, you connect to a miner and a pool, and away you go. You're earning erg, and the like you said it well put, so you kind of stole my thunder, but the frustrations to be able to have to take fiat and buy, or even if it's with the most coins, right, with the some of the largest centralized exchanges, you're either getting hit with these huge fees, or it's just you have to connect to another network to get the specific coin that you want, and it's just sometimes mining is the best way to just get what you want, right? So definitely I recommend looking into mining as a way, and it doesn't have to be, you don't have to be a huge miner and have this massive rig. You can like you said, have one GPU and a gaming computer, or even a laptop, right? And you just you mine for a portion of the day, you collect some erg, and then you can kind of open up endless possibilities here. So
yep,
definitely something to check out.
So jumping back into Spectrum, I just had to check myself. I almost said Ergodex. So jumping back into Spectrum.
Yeah, so I mean, here, this shows you the swap functionality. So, obviously there's several coins that you can choose from. I'm funny about my cookies, so we'll reject that. But obviously a lot of the projects that we just mentioned, there's obviously some of the projects that have been launched through Ergopad, through their IDOs. And then there's also, I think somewhere there's community-based tokens, right? Or did they get rid of that?
They might have got rid of it. Maybe
Yeah, they
on the
might have
cog.
cleaned
I'd
that
have
up.
to have a look, because so what Rob's referring to there is there was you could have a community pool, basically an unverified pool, whereas the ones listed here for the most part, well, they are sort of verified onto the platform itself. So
That's correct. Yeah, that's in the
the new UI
liquidity
would have
pool
to have a look
side.
into that. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, and I think there is a process where if you do have a token that you'd like verified, you can go through their GitHub and
Yeah.
submit for, approval of your token, so to speak. So
Yep.
there's a way to get, kind of embedded here and get approved. So it'd be easy. You just pick, your ERG. I don't have a wallet connected, but again, why that DApp connector is important, you literally just click a button here and it will just sync with your Nautilus or really your Nautilus wallet at this point. And then you pick what token you want to swap it with. And so you do that and you say, you have one ERG, and then it will tell you the value of, what the exchange would be. There are, some fees. You can, contribute to the liquidity pool.
I think
And you
just
connect your.
click on that drop down there just next to slippage. So I think this is also something really important to check, the price impact due to slippage, because a lot of people sort of get unstuck here. They'll put in something like I don't know, say swap 10 ERG for X amount of XL, and depending on the liquidity pool, there might not be a large number of tokens in that pool, and they'll lose a lot of their sort of buying power due to slippage, or the price impact then will be pretty significant. So they won't get the coins that they sort of were basically well, they were thinking of getting in return for their swap. So just when you do sort of go and perform a swap here, just open up that little checkup of that little drop down box, and you can see that information there. It's basically a summary of the swap itself.
No, that's a good point. That, I don't think they actually have, some other, they'll probably only have one pool at this point, but as, some of these grows, there will be other pools, and you could swap to those pools which have,
Yeah.
Smaller liquidity. So if someone, pulls their equity or their liquidity out of that pool, it could hurt you pretty significantly. So
Yeah.
that is something very important to keep in mind.
Yeah, most definitely.
Right.
Got a question here from FC.
Yeah.
Is Spectrum going to be plugged into Zelcore from Flux? I'm not too sure. I'd have to reach out to the Spectrum team and see if they're actually going to run anything on Flux. Yeah,
Yeah,
keep
no,
in
I'm
mind that
not.
one.
Yeah, I'm not sure the details on that one either, but it'd be interesting to see, how that all kind of develops as they move forward.
Yeah, most definitely.
All right, so this will give you kind of an overview of all the pools, that are available. And again, you will see multiple pairs, right? So, multiple of the same pair, actually, I should say. Obviously, you probably want to work with the, liquidity pool or, purchase from the liquidity pool that has the highest TVL. Because that will just ensure that, there's more tokens in the pool, there'll be more liquidity for you to ultimately be able to pull from if you at some point decide to either, swap back your tokens or pull your liquidity out of the pool as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Uh,
So what that basically means is there's going to be less price impact because there's more in that pool itself.
Exactly right. So, be careful. Obviously, look, there's some, some pools that are, very small. Obviously these are just, some community-based pools that were made. Some people put probably some small liquidity in there, but
Yeah.
it's an interesting concept. I think as the ecosystem continues to grow and build, we'll see a lot of interesting interactions and more pairs added, right? So, the other side of this is the Cardano side, which is currently under their testnet phase, is soon to be launched. But once that's kind of activated and the bridges are there, we at some point would be able to swap ERG with Cardano or potentially any of the tokens that are within the Cardano ecosystem, right? So
Yep.
that will be really interesting to see, especially with our team from kind of the smart pool standpoint, be able to kind of interact with some of those other tokens beyond Ergo would be really interesting to see as well, all while kind of securing the Ergo ecosystem. So
Yep.
personally excited for that development, and I know they'll have more to come soon, right? So
Soon, TM.
Yep, exactly.
No, it opens up like a plethora of sort of options there. Once the bridge is in and you can have those cross-chain swaps and everything like that, then you can potentially utilize the mixer then also. You can chuck ADA or basically any native token that's sort of bridged across into the mixer once that token's been set up in the mixer. I think those possibilities are huge.
I do too. I mean, it's great to see because it's usually once one kind of piece of development, right? And it's all pieces, in my opinion. They all kind of come together, and then other projects are able to kind of use that functionality of that piece that was made, right? And it's
Yeah,
just, it's really great to see once, something's developed, we're all expecting and we all know all these other things are going to kind of just, fall in naturally, right? So,
yeah,
again, it's, the beauty and the power of open source, right? And, as these systems are developed, it's just it opens up the doors for so much more development. And it's I always say sky's the limit, right? And you could really kind of see that and feel that within this community here.
yeah. QX has a good point here. Also check if there's a pair for what you want to swap in the end. So basically saying don't go from on the steps of going 1, 2, 3. So swap from token X to token Y to get to token Z, when you can go to token X to token Z directly. Just obviously if there's enough depth in that pool.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, I think even if you look at it now, like somebody asked the other day, is there any way I can, they wanted CNETA, which is, a Neta that's built on the Cardano ecosystem, and they wanted to swap the Neta that they were getting from our pool to
Yeah,
CNETA, and they're like, can we do that now? And it's like, yeah, you can, but you probably need like 5 or 6 steps. And by the time you're done, you're probably paying 30% in fees, right?
yeah,
So I mean, it's there's ways to do these things, but to have these tools be developed, and it just makes life that much easier. And I think it helps with adoption and just the overall user experience.
yeah. Just got a sort of question that's not really related to sort of what we're talking about here, but it's, do you guys know the status of Node 5.0? I believe it's on testnet. So the status is basically everything's sort of, or a number of pieces to that puzzle are ready to rock and roll. And basically the latest updates from the Node version 4.0.37, I believe, had automatic or thereafter had automatic voting
Yeah.
for implementation of Node 5.0. So that's basically sort of just changing or uh, somewhat modifying the costing model. So it's going to be sort of keeping a ahead of time sort of uh, pricing for the box or for the block itself, but then what goes into that block will have just in time costing. So there'll be a lot more sort of predictability and then scalability in essence, because you can fit more in a block and things like that. So yeah, it's going to improve efficiency on the network greatly.
Yeah, and really judging transaction processing in general. I mean, even,
Yeah.
operating a pool, I mean, that's the one thing that we look for, right, is speed, right? So I
Yeah.
think that, it will be really helpful. And if I'm not mistaken, I thought I saw one of the updates that they're planning to have full implementation by October. Am I correct in saying that?
Yeah, I was late September, early October.
Yeah,
There's a
something like
couple of,
that. Yeah.
yeah, I have to check the exact block height for that one.
Yep. Yep.
But that's the same time basically.
Yeah, exactly. So, that's they're coming as well. And, some people have asked us, just kind of, based on the proof of vote that we did for EIP 27, are we gonna, do anything for voting this time around? And, we honestly, we thought about it. We had the, kind of the conversation, amongst our team, is this something we should put some resources behind? But at the end of the day, we felt that it's not something that, one, it's not something that impacts miners, right? Really, I mean, at the end of the day, if it impacts them, it's for the
It's
better. So I don't,
beneficial, yeah.
yeah, exactly. And two, I mean, it's just, I think, for us and for, people that support our pool, it's better for us to put resources in, launching new sub pools and things like that, where if it was something that was really significant and it really kind of impacted the way that miners mine, then yeah, absolutely, we would, kind of put proof of vote behind it. But I think for this time around, like we said, it really is beneficial. It's good for the community all the way around. So I don't think that this is something that, is really that would require a general consensus at this point in time.
Yeah. I think Armenio summed it up. I think it was Armenio said that there's basically no kickback or anything questions in regards to Node 5.0. That's why the automatic voting has been put into the node, I believe. So if you do sort of want to vote, if you do run a node, then you can put some custom config into custom code or parameter into the configuration file. But yeah, it just benefits everyone in the ecosystem, from the user to the miner to the developers, everything. So yeah, it's a big improvement to sort of what we've got currently.
Yeah, no, I agree, and I think, potentially as we look to continue, ourselves to build on within the ecosystem, and build on this decentralized platform that we're working on. Maybe we kind of outline, like, what we want to have some form of government and allow to have it, through mining. So, at what point does it require, true miner consensus versus just, kind of like I don't even like a soft change almost. It's not even like a soft fork, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's so yeah, we'd love to support that, in the future as, some of these things come up.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, good example for that. ERP27, significant change, significant impact to miners. By all means, put that out to a vote. Whereas uh, something in regards to, so no 5.0, yeah, extremely beneficial for everyone. So yeah, I don't really see the value in regards to sort of diverting resources there. But yeah, like I said, there is an option to put a vote forward if you do sort of see fit. So there is that option also.
Yeah, good question though.
Yeah, definitely. So jumping back into Spectrum.
Yeah, so I mean, I think we're just about wrapped up here, but I this is where I kind of go to, personally, I put a lot into, SigUSD. It is the, one of the stable coins that is built on Erg. And it's, pegged to the dollar, pretty nicely, even through all that chaos that was going on with some of the other stable coins.
Yeah,
It held its own, right? And so I think, for miners or for anyone that's, potentially, they want to be, in Ergo, they support Ergo, but, maybe they're a little concerned about volatility, especially in a bear market or whatever the case may be. Now may not be the time to do it, but when the price is, favorable, or, depending on where you purchased it, at some point you may want to put, convert to a stable coin, and it does, it does keep you away from some of that market volatility that can be painful, right? I know a lot of us don't want to hold bags, so
yeah,
it's definitely one use case of the stable coin itself. So, that's, for me, one of my personal use cases. And then obviously, I haven't done it yet, but if you are mining on our pool, and you're looking to convert some of those additional token rewards back to Erg or even into SigUSD or something else, this is really a great platform to, go ahead and do that.
yeah, definitely.
And then, I guess, moving beyond that, I mean, I look, this is just kind of the start of things, right? I mean, there's so many other tools, and probably we could probably sit here for half a day, really
Easy
going
and
through
some.
some of these. Yeah, exactly. So I mean, it's, there is a lot within the ecosystem. I definitely, would recommend going back to, Sigmaverse.io, check it out, scroll through, check out all the different, projects that are out there, and I can guarantee you'll find something that will kind of fit your need or your interest.
Yeah, by all means, very well said. Um, yeah, it's good to mention also SigUSD, like you're just talking about, algorithmic stablecoin. It's over collateralized by 400%. So basically, what's in the reserve is 400 or four times what's in the USD or the stable coin itself. So during this sort of market crash and the volatility that we've seen throughout sort of numerous other stable coins, but then just um, the crypto industry as a whole, then we've seen that sort of stable environment. Like I think it got down to around 200% in the regards um, to the reserve. Don't know that exact number, but I think it just pays testament to the sort of robustness of the research that was put into the Age USD or the even now the JED protocol itself.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. And I think that, there was a lot. I mean, you look at a lot of these stable coins that really, crap the bed, right? It's just
Yeah,
I don't know. We didn't see, we saw a little, I would say fluctuation kind of on the reserve side, but it didn't impact the stability of the stable coin itself. So, definitely something to check out. I know there's a lot of interest in stable coins right now, especially with the market conditions. And I don't think that there's a lot of people that are aware that Ergo does have a stable coin. So
yep,
and a great one too. So it's definitely something that people should look into. Especially if you're looking to kind of stabilize your portfolio and kind of reduce some of the risk within the markets that we have today.
that's a good point actually, because a lot of people are often surprised by how much Ergo has going for it in regard to the development side. You point out numerous different features, like you just mentioned there. You've got a stable coin, and not many people sort of may realize that. But then you say we've got a non-custodial mixer and numerous other things like
Uh,
just
Fundraising tool. Yeah,
yeah, we've got
there's
Ergo raffles. We've got numerous sort of tools here in the environment. Like if you look at a sort of a number of projects in the top 100, um, a lot don't have sort of one or two things going for it. Whereas, yeah, we've got numerous sort of aspects. So, yeah, it's amazing to see and pays testament to the development community also.
Yeah, and I think, one thing that can't really go forgotten, and I know we touched on it a little bit, but there are, the developers within the community, they develop these toolkits and these app kits and some of these, other tools that can be used by other projects. And it's a good starting point. You know what I mean? A lot of developers, they need some of this functionality, right? So I know, ErgoPad's done some stuff. A lot of, I think almost every developer, that's out there has probably, contributed something to, another project, even ourselves with Plasma.
Yeah,
And it's just it's great to see that these tools are out there, they're kind of out in the open, they're there to be used by other developers, so we can continue to grow this great ecosystem. So definitely if you're a developer, come on here, check that out as well. There's definitely something for you as well. And if you want to kind of take a deeper dive and start developing within the ecosystem, we definitely are open to that. We welcome you with open arms.
yeah, definitely. The dev community is awesome because you can jump onto Discord or anywhere really and ask a question, and you'll have multiple people sort of provide replies, whether it's from the core team itself or the community developers. Someone will always chime in. It's great to see.
Yeah, and it's good to see that you'll also get different perspectives on
Yeah,
things too. You know what I mean? Because like it's a global community, so the way we do things here in the US may be different how you do it in Australia or Europe or wherever. So I think it just it brings some of that, cultural background into it as well. And I think, from an innovation standpoint, I think that's, that's a great thing because you get all these different you know, um, characteristics, right?
yeah,
Into development. And I just think, it enables better collaboration. So, I mean, I think the development community is amazing. I think I mentioned today on Twitter, that it's the community that really, drew me into Ergo. And, once you get sucked in and you start, kind of playing with all this stuff, it kind of becomes I don't want to say addicting, but it is. But it's you really find the true beauty in what this community has built here, right?
yeah,
So I think that and it's hard to leave once you find that. So
yeah, definitely. You've got those nice core values at the heart, and attracts like-minded people, and um, yeah, it's great to be at sort of being able to interact with the community daily, I think it's pretty cool because um, you have people from all walks of life and just getting on and interacting here in a permissionless way. I think that's the beauty and sort of the core of what crypto should be, not that whole sort of speculative side where you see Dogcoin next going to the moon and rocket ship here and there and the full degen plays. Probably speaking about you here, Rob, but in it just it pays tribute to sort of all those core values, sort of what the whole cypherpunk movement was sort of kicked into, or what started there. I think if we can keep that at the core of Ergo, I think that's we're in a very, very good place going forward.
Yeah, no, I agree. And funny little story. So, just talking about the power of the global kind of, collaboration. When we first started actually testing subpools, like in the very, very beginning, before we even had a pool, we were trying to coordinate with a group of miners, right? And literally they were all over the world, and we wanted to test that functionality. So we had people from Indonesia, I think we had a guy from China, Europe, maybe even Australia, here in the US, and a few different places. And one, it was a pain in the ass trying to coordinate time zones where we could all talk to each other, but it was just we saw all these different walks of life, and it
Or just
from
quickly, Rob, do you just want to stop
yeah,
sharing?
yeah,
Just
sure.
yeah.
Yeah, and it just, we see all these different walks of life, and I don't know. We saw a fisherman from Indonesia, and a musician from, I forget what country he's from, and it's just, again, it's we're all people at the end of the day, and just to bring all these different viewpoints, and
Yeah.
bring it all together and kind of be a part of that. It's it truly is amazing.
Yeah, we just got one last question here from FC. So he's currently just driving through Middle America, through the beautiful cornfields at sunset. So that's sets a nice mood there. How does Ergo solve or interact in, let's call, the flyover portion of the US or rural rare areas throughout the sort of, what I mean, like the flyover states? Obviously, people call that the Midwest and things like that. There's numerous sort of factors here. What's your sort of take on that?
Yeah, I mean, like, from usership standpoint, as far as adoption of crypto, I don't know, it's interesting to see, like, when we can, kind of you know get an understanding of, what regions are potentially being hit the hardest, right? From a, kind of connection standpoint. And we have, stratums all over the world, right? And we see it all over. Like, I don't think that there's really a demographic blocking crypto adoption. You know what I mean? Or
Yeah.
a kind of that I think it really is widespread. And I've seen miners in, rural Wisconsin that are, they're mining, they have phones, they have internet. So I mean that's really all you need, right? So
They're
I don't know.
running their
I hope,
farms on biodiesel from the
yeah,
maize.
I mean, and if you think about it, it's probably the best places to kind of do some of this stuff, because when you look at, like, I'm from New York, right? And it's, obviously we are a larger population. Costs are expensive here, right? I mean, our
Yeah.
power costs are through the roof, and it's just, when you look at some of these rural states, I think that, there's, a benefit to crypto adoption in general, especially when you look at it from a mining standpoint. And I guess that's where I'm coming from. But
Yeah.
um, no, I think, look, I mean, we're seeing crypto adoption in Kenya right now, right? With
Exactly.
the Ergo team and Exil. So I think that, there's definitely ways to, kind of engage with crypto, and, interact with, multiple blockchains, not only Ergo. So
Yeah.
I mean, Bitcoin, we can send Bitcoin through SMS now, right? So I mean, there's so much development out there that I think it's a matter of time before it becomes, truly globally adopted.
Yeah. There's a number of sort of use cases as well, like obvious ones being supply chain. So basically, you could be a corn farmer there in the Midwest somewhere, Rob, and people want to sort of know where that product has come from, and that's one use case. Uh, even like that's from the produce side of things. From a manufacturing point of view, you could say you want to buy a harvester and you buy a nice shiny green John Deere to harvest your crop, and you could store all the warranty details, serialization, etc. on chain. Like there's numerous sort of aspects here that that blockchain in general can provide the world. So it's just a matter of all that adoption coming through.
Yeah, or just smart contracts in general, right? So what
Yeah,
is a smart contract? I mean, it's a program or it's software that's been developed, but it's there's the old saying, it's literally a vending machine, right? I mean, you
yeah,
you put something in, which is, a currency or cryptocurrency at this point, and you expect something out of it, right, in return. Um, so I mean, smart contract that, that's not the only use case, but smart contracts in a sense can be used for anything, right? So I mean, you can literally take a smart contract and say, how do I utilize this for, a legal contract, or, potentially in, a multitude of industries where you would kind of need that, that kind of intermediary,
yeah,
to basically be able to, have an agreement between, two parties, right? So, there's obviously it's more on the development side, but I think as, smart contracts continue to be developed out, and, there's maybe more functionality where it's a little bit more user friendly, where someone can go to a UI and basically create a contract for any purpose.
yep,
I think that smart contracts in themselves will be more highly adopted.
yeah, most definitely. And that's we might wrap that up here, mate. We've been going on for oh well and truly over an hour now, so it's
Yeah.
chewing into the time. Thanks again for chatting, and thanks to all the viewers for tuning in. It's been a pleasure talking once again.
Thanks, everyone. Speak to you next week.
Cheers. Have a good one.
Have a good one. Take care.
Cheers.